Fernando Perez, the kicker for Northridge, sends it all the way back into the end zone, and we are underway here in the second half. Again, Fort Morgan leads 16-0.
Be interesting to see what Chisholm has told the kids at half and what they're going to come out doing. So far, they've really had a nice running game established. It'd be nice to score another touchdown and then maybe go back to some passing.
The air really cool now as Fort Morgan will start this first possession of the second half. Moving from left to right on your radio dial or computer screen. As Jose Miranda gets the first give, he will dive through the middle of the line, pick up 8, and it'll be a second down play, second and short. They'll give him 9, actually. Second and 1 from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, some good hard running up the middle there. Looks like they're coming back with "we're going to run down your throat."
Again, Miranda with the give through the middle of the line. Has just enough for the first down.
Miranda being the one of the horses that carried the Mustangs so far this year. It's good to see him getting some runs right up here at the early part of the second half.
Ball spotted at the 31-yard line of Mustang territory. First and 10. As Martins will break the huddle. Swing Anderson to this near side as a wideout. Man to the far side, 2 men in the backfield. Miranda and Alexander dotting the I. Alexander gets the game, goes through the right side of the line. Breaks across the 40, gets across the 45, loses his footing, and he is down to the 47-yard line. So a big gain on first down that time for Alexander as he's able to pick up another first down for the Mustangs.
Really nice job of the offensive coordinator for the Mustangs, mixing things up, a couple dives, and then fake the dive and come back with Alexander off the other side, and he has some daylight.
We'll see the same formation now for the Mustangs as, again, Miranda gets the give through the middle of the line. Pick up about 3 or 4. We'll call it 4, and it'll be second and a long 6.
Yeah, if you remember back, Alex, to that first game against Brush, and Brush came out, and I talked about the smash mouth football, the driving down and saying, we are going to run right down your throat, and you cannot stop it. Fort Morgan seems to be trying to send that message to Northridge right now.
Again, the give will go this time to Alexander, who will get back to the line of scrimmage, which is right at the 50-yard line. Actually, he'll lose about a half yard. Nose of the ball touching the 50-yard line on the Fort Morgan side. And now we'll have a 3rd and 7 play.
And here Fort Morgan's got to open up the playbook. Sometime this season, Fort Morgan's going to have to figure out that pass game and come up with a pass that Martins is comfortable throwing so that he can get on track.
Again, 2 men split wide, 2 men in the I formation for Martins, who's under center. The give will go to Miranda, who will go left this time. He's able to pick up about another yard, and it'll bring up a 4th down play as he crosses back into Northridge territory at the 48-yard line. And we'll see the punting unit come out for Fort Morgan.
Absolutely. At midfield, up by 16 on a team that's desperate for a win. Let's pin them back in their own, back by their own end zone and make them earn it rather than possibly giving them some opportunities.
So Zwedzig will come in, and he barely gets this one off. I think it was blocked at the line of scrimmage. If not, it was tipped. Fielded by Northridge at the 39-yard line and immediately swarmed under by a couple tacklers for Fort Morgan. Michelle Franco, one of them. Oreo Canas, the other. And now we'll see there's some laundry on the field, a flag on the field. And it looks like this one's going to go against Fort Morgan. So great field possession for Northridge's first possession of the second half.
Yeah, they come out at halftime, and they get the ball. Fort Morgan does at the 20-yard line, marches all the way to midfield. Then 2 bad things happen on one play. We get the punt partially blocked. The kid from Northridge smartly catches the ball and takes off, and the Fort Morgan defender pulls the face mask, and now Northridge is set up at their own 43.
Fulton looking to pass coming out of the break. He's got a man open downfield. That's Francis who makes the catch. He's at the 10, and he'll be brought down there by the defender. I believe that's Michael Fitzsimmons. It's not Fitzsimmons, it's Cody Davis who gets beat by Jordan Francis. What a great throw and catch as that play goes all the way down inside the 5-yard line to the 4.
Yeah, that was a really nice pass. Hit him right in stride, and the Fort Morgan defender dives to just knock him off balance and make him fall.
A great play that time coming out of the break from Fulton to Francis as they're able to connect for a big pass play. And now Northridge is looking to score for the first time since the fourth quarter in Week 5 against Mountain View. The handoff goes inside where the Northridge tailback will be swarmed under. Stephen Cunningham getting the call that time. Cunningham, a big kid, 6 foot, 180, the senior.
Yeah, Northridge definitely excited now coming out of half. They get that momentum swinging. Could mean trouble for Fort Morgan.
They'll let him gain a yard on that play, and it'll be first and goal. Check that, second and goal from the 3. As again, Fulton under center, this time a heavy set backfield. He'll turn and hand it to Cunningham again, who will break across the plane and score the touchdown to make this game 16-6 with 7:48 remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Fort Morgan, quite a turnaround from we're going to come out and march down the field. A couple plays that don't go their way, and then special teams lets it down and lets Northridge back in the game.
We'll see what Northridge elects to do. The offense still out on the field as Fulton goes into the huddle.
Alex, down by 16 points, the two-point conversions pretty much throws Northridge into a situation where they have to go for 2. They can't kick an extra point even if they have a great kicker. 2
men split, 1 each way, 2 men in the backfield in the I formation. Now Carlin comes in motion all the way across the line of scrimmage as Fulton tries to pick him out on the flat play there, but Fulton underthrows Carlin, and the ball will fall incomplete, so the 10-point lead remains intact for the Mustangs. 16-6 here with 7:48 remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back inside District 6 Stadium as Fernando Perez gets ready to kick this one away. An interesting kickoff formation for the Grizzlies as the ball will be fielded. Oh, almost. Jared Bohm, I think. No, that looks like Armando Lopez, who would try to keep his foot out of the end zone, but he stepped in. And the ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line for Fort Morgan.
The kid from Northridge is definitely putting the ball deep. He had one touchback, and then that one, caught on about the 1-yard line, but as he took off upfield, he put his foot back in the end zone.
So Martins goes under center, 2 men split, I formation. Alexander will get the give. Check that. Fitzsimmons will get the give. He'll cross the 20, get down to about the 23, where he'll be tackled. They say he stayed in bounds, so the clock will remain moving.
Yeah, just a quick pitch off the right side. Fort Morgan's got to put together a good offensive drive, chew up some time on the clock. With that missed extra point by Northridge, it's still Northridge needs to score 2 times to take the lead.
Again, Fort Morgan with that I formation. The give goes to Alexander, who gets across the 30 to just across the 30. And that'll be enough to pick up the first down. He needed 6, and he got 6.5. So the 30-yard line will be where the ball is spot on this near hash after the 6-yard gain for Alexander.
Yeah, Fort Morgan seems to be able to run at will against this Northridge team up to a point, and then they'll make a good...
Sorry, folks, about the technical difficulties as we lost you here from Greeley. But we are back on now with 4:33 remaining in the third quarter. Alexander gets to give. What you missed was a big Alexander gain. He gets down inside of Grizzly territory. Now the Mustangs are down to the 20-yard line of Grizzly territory, looking to capitalize on this, their second drive of the second half.
Yeah, that was, Alexander went around and found some open territory down the sideline for 35 yards. Very nice run.
So a third short play here is the ball spotted at the 20-yard line. Need the 18 to get the first down. Check that, the 17 to get the first down. Martins will take his time going under center, and he will turn and give it to the deep back, who I believe fumbled the football. He did, and Northridge will take over the football at their own 21-yard line after a disappointing end to a good drive here for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, Fort Morgan this half having some success on offense, but just not being able to close the deal and get in the end zone. And that's just enough to give Northridge a little bit of momentum. They're hopping around. The band is playing. And if we're not careful, Northridge is going to come down and score and make it a one-possession game.
The Mustangs still lead 16-6, 3:41 and counting here in the third quarter. Fulton goes under center, turns and hands it to the deep back in the I formation. He'll dive through the middle of the line, pick up about a couple yards there. We'll call it a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Cunningham, I believe, on the carry that time. Check that, Cody Cook getting his first carry of the ball game. Yeah, Cunningham will check in as Cook comes off to the sideline. We'll see two men split. Francis to this near side, Carlin to the far side. Fulton will go under center. Quick count. He drops back looking to pass. Will throw to the flat to Cunningham, who's got a little bit of room and a blocker in front of him. He will be upended after he crosses the 30-yard line down to the 34. And that'll be enough for the first down for the Grizzlies. So a little bit of momentum shift after the fumble. And the Grizzlies are starting to get something moving here on offense.
Absolutely, and their passing game is doing much better than it was before. A nice pickup of 12 and a first down.
Spot the ball at the near hash as the Grizzlies are moving from the south to the north, or right to left on your radio dial. Fulton gets the quick snap. Will turn, hand it to Cook, who's back into the game. He'll be stood up right at the line of scrimmage and will be corralled there for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Fort Morgan's defense has got to figure out. They've got the run figured out. They've stopped the run, but 2 huge passes this half so far, 53 yards and 12, is leaving the light out there for Northridge to come home.
Again, Francis to this near side. 2 receivers split to the far side. 1 lone man in the backfield as Fulton looks to throw to the flat on the far side. It'll be caught there by his receiver, who gets 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. Blake Carlin on the reception. He had 22 yards on 4 catches last week in the loss to Frederick.
Brings up long 3rd down. Here's where Fort Morgan needs to make a stand.
3rd and 6 play as the ball spotted at the 39-yard line. The Grizzlies need to get the 44-yard line of their own territory for the first down. Francis and Carlin split to this near side. 2 men split to the far side. Fulton in the shotgun, looking to throw. He looks to this near side to Francis, who catches the football and then drops it. Never really had possession, met immediately by Cody Davis there, who already has an interception on the evening.
I think Francis heard the Fort Morgan footsteps coming up to lay the hit on him and turned upfield to see who was coming before he put the ball away.
And we'll see Michael Graff come out to punt again for the Grizzlies. Back deep to receive is Yuli Hernandez for the Mustangs. Graff receives the high snap, and he's looking to pass. He's got a man open down the field across the 50 to the 45. We have a flag down as he will be tackled eventually. The man on the receiving end of the pass is Cunningham, brought down by Cody Davis at the 35-yard line. Check at the 30-yard line. 2 flags down, 2 separate flags, one on this near side, one on the far side. We'll see what the officials say. Fort Morgan looking as if it's on Northridge, and Northridge looking as if it's on Fort Morgan. So we'll see what the man in the white hat has to say.
I think as they were going downfield, the Northridge kids were making contact with the Fort Morgan kids. I think we'll see offensive pass interference, which may be loss of down, which would be a huge turnover for Northridge.
The only thing I can think of would have to be on Northridge is Fort Morgan really was going back into their punt coverage. Now we see pass interference on the offense against Northridge, which does result in the loss of downs. So the turnover on downs will put the ball all the way back at the original line of scrimmage on that play, which is the 44-yard line of Northridge territory. So a huge turn of events on the penalty there with the offensive pass interference as Northridge did pick up enough for the first down and well into Fort Morgan territory. But the pass interference call negates the play and gives Fort Morgan the football with the penalty yardage. Check that. It's going to be even further into Northridge territory, all the way down to the 38-yard line of Northridge territory.
Yeah, as an offense or as a special teams coach, anytime you decide to pass on a fake punt, first worry is your center, because the centers cannot be hit by the defenders, and so they're usually the first ones downfield, and you don't want an illegal receiver downfield. The second one is that one of your receivers decides to make contact to get the offensive penalty.
Let me correct myself. The 28-yard line is where the ball will be spotted on the far hatch. Power I formation for Fort Morgan as Martins is under center, and now we'll have a flag come out from the umpire. And Fort Morgan will be marched back 5 yards as the false start penalty goes against the Mustangs. So not exactly how you want to start this off, being given the gift after the fake punt goes wrong for Northridge.
You know, sometimes in a season for a team like Northridge being 0-6, just nothing good ever happens to them. Fort Morgan's got to get after it. Oh, there's nothing.
As Alexander gets a give to this near side, he'll be tackled around the ankles at the 26-yard line. So he'll gain back the penalty yardage and a couple more. It'll be 2nd and 8 as the clock dips under a minute now in the third quarter.
Fort Morgan with that quick count caught me off guard, and I almost started doing play-by-play there, Alex.
Jump in at any time. As I was looking down to right, you caught me off guard.
Fort Morgan here maybe deciding to let's start milking the clock and let's not hurry up as they have the advantage and the clock's on their side.
So now a 2nd and 8 plays. Martins will go under center. Ball spotted at this near hash on the 26-yard line. The give will go to Alexander, who goes through the right side off tackle, and he'll be down just before crossing the 20-yard line. They'll spot the ball at the 21, and I believe that will be the last play of the third quarter as the clock has hit 5 seconds now. And, yes, it will be the final play of the third quarter. So when we come back, we'll have a 3rd and 4 play with a fresh 12 on the clock here at District 6 Stadium as the Mustangs lead going into the fourth quarter, 16-6. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com.